Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, break free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal team. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. He goes bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you can't tell, I got a frog in my throat. Actually, it was much worse before, but I know the show's got to go on. The show got to go on. The show's got to go on. And we'll probably cut it short, maybe to like 10:40 a little today. We won't go to it. But it's going to be I had a couple cups of tea already. And, yeah, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. Believe me, I played with broken fingers and cracked ribs. A little crazy voice isn't going to stop your boy from saying what he's got to say. So, listen, if you're watching this on Facebook, and I guess you found us on Facebook, and if you're not following us on Facebook, come on, man. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. But also go to YouTube and subscribe there as well. It'd be appreciated. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. All right, and follow me. Just follow me on all the socials at the Shawn Sierra. That's THESHAWNSierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive, so keep it coming, baby. Whatever platform you're watching, it's not leave a question or comment on there. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. That's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see. Let's check it out. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up? What up, what up, what up? Shawn and Sports Zoners. Black Diamond's in the house. It was top of the morning to you. My man, Junior. I guess I'm 3rd or 4th on the list, Junior. That's cool, man. Thanks. Wow. I'm like 5th on Junior's list. Wow. So Junior's like Cornelius, Black Diamond, talking about his Thanksgiving. He says it's something with Shawn. He says FGB. Oh, yeah, they're my friend for 28 years. Yeah, by the way, hi, Shawn. How are you? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So, that's good. You know, I'm busting the chops, baby. Cornelius Squall's in the house. Morning. Black Diamond, Armando, already in game day mode. Let's go Bears. You're ready, huh, Cornelius, huh? You got a couple days left. Don't burn out now. DJ Breeze, checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? He says, bear down, baby. Let's check it out. Thanks for checking it out, man. You'll like it. Again, I apologize for my voice being a little crazy. Take another Halls. Halls meant to lift this with vapor action. Yeah, I just had there's a lot to talk about. I didn't want to miss the opportunity because in 2 days from now, there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. All right, a whole bunch of other stuff, and this will get water under the bridge. All right. 10 o'clock at the top of the hour, our girl Beth Mishler-Elmore is going to join us. She's from Heavy.com. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com. She's going to come on and join us. We're talking all things Bears with Beth, with her Twitter handle, Bear Down Beth. I love it. That could be my favorite. Twitter handle, Bear Down Beth. That's awesome. But 10 o'clock, Beth Mishler-Elmore is going to join us. We have a lot of stuff to talk. So listen. Yes, we do. So let's go, man. Let's get a crack a lacking, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
All right, let's see the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? We'll start with Monday. Monday, baby. That's what we're doing. The Bullies, baby. The Bullies went to Denver. You saw the thumbnail. Bulls went to Denver. All right, beat the Nuggets 130. Whoa. What's all that about? It was 130, 127. See, that's what happens when you have fat fingers. We have fat fingers. There you go. 130 to 127 in the Mile High City. Josh Giddey led the way doing. Josh Giddey thinks 21 points, 6 assists. Ayo DeSumo contributed 21 points in the effort as well. Kevin Huerter 20 points. Jaden Smith 16 points, 8 rebounds. It ended the Denver Nuggets 7-game winning streak, and it also ended the Bulls 5-game losing streak. That was huge. Denver's a good team, and for a lot of people who wanted to complain about the Bulls and their record and who they beat, well, they didn't have a leg to stand on. But nonetheless, here's a top team in the West. Staying with the Bulls, the next top of the morning topic, the Bulls are in Portland tonight. Man, that was Michael's. Michael used to love going there, right? Because the Nike outlets, Nike factories there in Eugene. It's not in Eugene. Where is it? Eugene is where the campus is. No, it is Eugene, Oregon. Corvallis is where. No, where the hell's the Nike? Beaverton. Is that it? Nike headquarters. Now I got to figure it out. Beaverton, Oregon. Yes, Beaverton. Keeping it moving. Last night, big win for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks beat the Calgary Flames 5-2. Huge win. And man, let me tell you about it. Soderblom, he stopped 19 of 21 shots on the night. He was a wall. Connor Bedard notched his second career hat trick late in the game, got an empty netter. And it was funny. I saw so many of my friends were at the Hawks game last night. And interesting was that it's usually it's not a lot of people that I would think would be at Hawks games. A lot more Mexican people were there. I saw like 6 Mexican friends. I'm not saying that the Mexicans don't like hockey. It's just there were so many of them that I knew. I just thought it was interesting. Because I fell in love with hockey when I was like 4 or 5. Thanks to my cousin Lalito. Let me take this down so I can clip this and send it to him. I fell in love with hockey because my cousin Lalito. I told you before, there's a picture going around the family somewhere. We're at the Vork Park in Pilsen, and they used to freeze the field. And then I'm literally about 4 years old, maybe 5. And we're standing there. I'm standing in front of him with my stick. He's standing behind me with the stick. And we would go and we would just ice skate at the Vork Park. So I've been a big hockey fan thanks to my cousin. And then when I was working Andy Frame, one of my guys, Jay Usa, big shout out to Jay Usa, St. Rita guy, was working the Players Gate. And he was like, oh man, he goes, come on down, hang out here every time. He goes, you'll see everybody. I did. I got to see everybody from the late 80s. We're talking Magic, Bird, Hakeem, Barkley. So I worked 88, 89. And then the hockey players, it was Ron Hextall, Mark Messier. Wayne Gretzky didn't show up, didn't play the time that the Oilers were there. Mario Lemieux was there that I saw, throughout my time working there. And my guy was like, hey, listen, if you ever want to get people in, let me know. I could just put some tickets aside. Just let me know. So I used to get sort of return the favor for Tim turning me on to hockey. I used to get him into all types of a whole bunch of different Hawks games. And the one game that I got him into that was crazy was they played the Edmonton Oilers. Again, Gretzky didn't show up. He was hurt. That's where Dennis Savard scored the game winner. He got the rebound, and he goes around all 5 Oiler defenders, and he beats Grant Fuhr. I think it was stick side, top shelf stick side with a backhand, and the place went nuts. Now, if you're old enough to have been to the Chicago Stadium, you know how loud that place used to get. That's why they called it the Madhouse on Madison, and that was the loudest place I have ever been in my life, ever. After that goal, after the Dennis Savard goal where he beats him top shelf, right where Mama puts the peanut butter, beats Grant Fuhr top shelf to go for the go-ahead win. That place was just insane. I couldn't hear myself scream. That's how loud it was. So I've been in love with hockey since then, and it's an awesome. Yeah. But Shawn, this burpee just taking over your voice. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Staying with the Hawks host the Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken tomorrow night at the United Center. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 720 a.m. Cub fans, don't ever say I don't like you. I mean, I usually probably don't, but here we go. Shota Imanaga has accepted the 1-year qualifying offer from the Cubs. 1 year worth $22 million. He was one of only a handful of players who accepted it across the league. Qualifying offers. 1 year, $22 million for Shota Imanaga. How are you feeling about that, Cub fans? All right, you could tell they lost confidence in him in Game 5 when season's on the line. He was scheduled to start. They skipped him. He had a tendency toward the end of the season and the playoffs to throw batting practice and give up the long ball. So how do you feel about that? How are you feeling about him? Because now you have, let's talk about, let's get this down. Let's talk about your rotation. You got Cade Horton, Justin Steele when he comes back. What about Shota? Excuse me. You got, what about Matthew Boyd, Jamison Tyone, Javier Assad? Who are the 5 going to be? I mean, and this can't stop you from going to get, you need a number 1. You need a shutdown, no frills, no question, number 1 starter. Number 1 starter. I anticipate in all reports from Jeff Passan, from Bruce Levine, a lot of the baseball pundits, the in the know people, that the Cubs are going to be in on a Dylan Cease sweepstakes. A right-handed power pitcher. That'd be a great thing for you guys to get Dylan Cease, put him at the top of the rotation. I mean, you did draft him after all. You did draft him after all, so finally, you just got to pay him a little more now than you already kept him. But thank you for loaning him to us for a couple of years. We did absolutely nothing with him, so absolutely nothing. So the next top of the morning topic, the Bears. The Bears host the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday. On the lakefront at Soldier Field, as my voice breaks. I'm Peter Brady. Everybody host them at Soldier Field Sunday. Kickoff is at high noon. You can catch that game on CBS Channel 2 locally, or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000 at 1000 a.m. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good challenge for the Bears. All right, you got Joey Porter Jr., okay, Jalen Ramsey as corners. We got, and we're no word on Aaron Rodgers yet. He's going to try and play, is what they're saying. He's going to have to be. He's going to have to be under injury report today. It's coming out today, so we'll find out. Yeah, Mr. Shorty, what's up, Papa? He's like, I got a cold. Yeah, I got a. I'm fighting a little cough, and it was worse. But I just, you know how they say, Mr. Shorty, the show must go on. Like I said, I don't care if he plays. I really don't. To me, it's more, and a lot of fans really want him to play. They want to kind of slay the dragon, so to speak. And I get it. But I'm more worried about 8-3 than I am about shutting up Aaron Rodgers. I'm more worried about 8-3. Okay? We're having a very good year right now. A year that most fans didn't think we'd have. And it's interesting, you know, because everybody talks about here. Let me do this. Oh man, where did that go? Man, I thought I had it. Yes, there it is. Okay. So here's the thing that's interesting. Everybody wants to talk a lot of shit. All right? Everybody wants to talk a lot of shit about our Bears. And they haven't played anybody. They haven't done this. They haven't done that. Okay. But where's the energy? If you look at this is the beginning of the season. So the Chicago Bears have one of the toughest schedules to start the 2025 season, with sources ranking it as the second most difficult in the NFL. But now that we're 7-2, 7-3, oh, you haven't played anybody. But this just came out saying, this came out before the season started, that they had the second most difficult schedule to start. So which one is it? And this is why I told you, do not listen to that bullshit. Whenever anyone says, oh, the strength of schedule is this, the strength of schedule is that, it's bullshit. It's for clicks. Okay? It's just for clicks. Because you don't know how a team is going to be. You don't know who's going to be hurt. You don't know if the team is clicking that year. You don't know what free agents they're going to lose the following year. You don't. So right there just shows you the craziness of my industry, or our pundits and everything, because you go off of numbers. Numbers, you can't go off numbers. You can't, because no football team, no team in pro sports at all, ever is the same. You got draft picks, you got free agents, you got people leaving. So when the Bears were scheduled to have the second toughest opening of the season, and they go 7-3. They go 7-3. Okay. Don't give me that nonsense. And here in the last top of the morning topic, this was for those of us old enough to remember. Wow. Yesterday would have been Len Bias's 62nd birthday. For those of you who have never heard of Len Bias was a forward out of the University of Maryland. You see that on the picture on the SI cover. He was one of the top players in college, All-American, the whole nine. Him and Jordan. And here's what Michael Wilbon said. Those of us who watch Bias believe he would have been to Jordan what Bird was to Magic. He was a 6'8" forward, unbelievably athletic. The Celtics had just won the NBA title that year. And because of a trade they made the year prior, they ended up with the number 3 pick. And number 3 pick was Len Bias. So Len Bias was this unbelievable athlete that was going to just help propel the Celtics. They just won a title. But a month prior, they just won a title. And they get that dude. And yep, Mr. Shorty, yeah. Len Bias was supposed to be the equivalent of MJ. Yep, he was the man. He was unbelievable for all of us. Jay Grizz, you should remember Len Bias. You're a hooper too. You like hoops. You know what I'm talking about. And then he gets drafted. The next day they fly him to Boston. All right, to the facility, take him around the whole nine. Okay, and then the following day they fly him back to University of Maryland to school, so we can finish school. Well, apparently he's partying with his cousin and ODs on coke, and allegedly this was only the second time he'd ever done cocaine in his life. And the last line of that article, June 30th, 1986, I'll never forget it. I think I still have that issue downstairs in the crawl space. And to be honest with you, to keep it a buck, he was one of the main reasons I never did drugs. That situation, I was 15 years old. That was one of the reasons I never got into drugs. Plus, I had cousins who sold drugs and said they would beat my ass, and they would literally beat my ass and then tell my mom I did drugs, and then I didn't want her to beat my ass either. So, but this passing was what did it for me. It's like, no way. And the last line of the Sports Illustrated article, I remember it. It said, Len Bias will always be remembered as the kid with a crooked smile on his face, the Celtic cap on his head, and the world at his fingertips. So, yeah, it's what would have been, what could have been. The Bulls and Celtics fighting in the 80s and 90s. Come on, man. Imagine how crazy that would have been. I agree. If you're on the Boston Bulls, may have never have won 6. They might not have. We don't know. We can only speculate. But we know that he would have made a huge, huge difference. And yeah. All right, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. Let me get the warden off to CrossFit. All right. And I'll be back. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here, Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know. No, I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
First came in the league, he was just an athlete, running dunker, and won.
Nice move, Buzelis. Early clock for Javon Carter without a couple of guards tonight. White and Jones both out. So Javon Carter, after not playing last night, is in there. Williams, a deep three.
Bang, bang, bang.
And then long runs for Carter, Terry, and Phillips. Phillips played last night. The other two didn't. And another strip. Bulls have numbers. It's Dosunmu for the dunk.
Get loose in the post. He's just going around setting screens. You got to make Jokic work right there.
Oh, another good pass, and Buzelis hammers it.
Oh, Boozy Verts.
Hardaway.
Good block.
Yeah,
Dalen Terry's been playing really well, too.
Yeah, he's back behind the plays. The Bulls go out in transition. Sticks and one.
Oh, Mr. Smith. They said he was in Washington, but he's in Denver
Boots
tonight.
out on Jokic. Here's Murray. He's been the man in this quarter. Bulls defend him well. Ayo with the takeaway. Ayo speeds to the rim and stuffs it home.
Cookies. Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. Those were the Bullies on Monday in Denver. Man, oh man, was it great. And big win by the boys, 130 to 127. And good to see you saw Boozy Vert. I love when Matas has a shot at the rim. I love it. That kid, he's got that dog. Man, he's got that dog. And it is so great to see. It's so great to see. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. Black Diamond says, Savage, I was 5, but definitely remember how nice he was. Yeah, that's crazy. Talk about Len Bias. Shorty says that court is annoying. It's a little weird, that court, those courts, because they're all red, all white, all black, all blue, depending for the President's Cup or whatever cup they're playing for. The World Cup, Country's Cup, I don't know. Athletic Cup, I don't know what they're playing for. I don't know. I'm kidding. I do know what it is. But good. It's good to see our Bulls break that streak against a really good team. And as we talked about, just seeing them grow before our eyes. All right, they had a tough one. They had a tough little stretch. And it's frustrating when you start off 6-0 and then you lose 4 or 5 games in a row. All right, it's tough. But they haven't wavered, which I love. They haven't stopped fighting. And I just really like, I'm telling you, I really like this team to the point where I'm probably going to go to a couple of games. If I can't get credentials, then I'll actually pay. That's funny. My man Junior says, Bugs Bunny at Sports Zone today is a good morning. He was grandson, Jeremiah. Good morning, Jeremiah. So, let me get this. You know, one of the things that, let's see what this is. Cornelius, Billy has to turn that bench loose more often. Yeah, that bench was crazy. All right, the bench points, they destroyed them. And it was good to see. All right, and I love it because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about. We're talking about your guys. You got Jalen Smith. Let's see. 36, 38, 48, 54, 71, 76. 76 points. 76 points our bench put in. See, 21 plus 15 is 36, 38, 43, 50, 38, 40, 45, excuse me, 52, 68, I'm sorry. 62 points coming off the bench. That's awesome. And Shawn, I could agree with you. He's playing better, noticeably better. Now he's nowhere near all-star caliber, but I'll tell you what, Rome wasn't built in a day. It only took 6 years for Patrick Williams to start playing well. But seeing how I love the way he's playing, I love his contributions. I love he's buying in. And remember what I said last year, probably the last 2 seasons. When he goes up against teams number 2s, second teams, he goes ham. He goes off. So don't put him in the starting lineup. Put him in with the second unit. Put him in with the second unit and say, go ham. Be our leading scorer in the second with the second unit. He's done that. He's played a lot more defense, played better defense, handled the passing lane, defending people. I think we found a spot for Patrick Williams. I think he's finally, after about 30 years of playing, has finally gotten it. So I'm loving what the Bulls are doing. I'm loving what they're doing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's great to have Bulls basketball be relevant again. That's what I love. The fact that Bulls basketball is relevant again. The Bulls are relevant again. All right. They've finally, after years of incompetence, got younger and more athletic. They finally got younger and more athletic, and it's a beautiful thing to see how getting up and down the court really taxes other teams. It really taxes other teams. Like, wow. And this is why Billy was always adamant about this for so long. Push it, push it, push it, push it. If you remember at the University at Florida, man, the run and gun. But if you knew Billy at Providence, they used to call him Billy the Kid. That was that era. If you recall, that was that era. You had the UNLV Running Rebels who used to run up and down the court. You had the Loyola Marymount Lions, I want to say, used to run up and down the court. And you had Providence, Billy's school up in the east, up in the Northeast. They used to run up and down the court. And that was the beginning of that run and gun era. That was the beginning of it. And Billy was that dude. Billy was that coach. Billy was that player. Billy's that coach. And I really enjoy having him as our coach because with the talent that we have now, it's a perfect fit for him. Now, we're back in the we're falling back a little bit because of the losses. See, the Bulls are 7-6. All right, that really even us out. Detroit's 13-2, Cleveland's 10-5, and then us 7-6. We've come back down a little bit, and but I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. All right, this team is going to have a lot more good moments for us. We're going to have a lot of good things to talk about. All right, the development of Matas Buzelis. All right, the continued consistent performance of Josh Giddey. Josh is, I'm telling you, he does not play. He is not fazed by the big contract that he received. All right, he has not taken his foot off the gas. He is not eased up. He came into this understanding it's his team. He's a floor general. I'll tell you what, he is doing a hell of a job running the show. And I love it. I love it. Kobe White, they didn't play him the other night, second night of a back-to-back. Okay. They're just being cautious. I get it. Got a whole season ahead of you. Okay. But Kobe should play tonight. And I'm really looking forward to Kobe playing tonight. All right. Kobe was probably dying in that game. Just, he was just, because you, as a competitor, you want to help your teammates. You want your efforts. You want to contribute. You want to do your part. Right? And in a team, at work, family, whatever. Whenever you're part of a team, most people, want to do their part. Okay. And, Kobe was just dying. He wanted to be in there knocking down threes. And, but he'll be back soon. And he'll be ramped up. I mean, hell, he had 27 the night he came back. That was crazy. But I like the way Billy is working these guys. All right, he'll go 8, 9, 10 deep, which is dope. All right, you go 8, 9, 10 deep. I mean, look at The only person who didn't play was Noah Essingay. He's the only person who didn't play. Everybody had double-digit minutes. Jaden Smith, 18 minutes. Patrick Williams, 17 minutes. Dalen Terry, who's playing really, really, really well. He had 18 minutes. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Dalen Terry did. Julian Phillips, 11 minutes. Jalen Carter, 18 minutes. Ayo, 26 minutes. He went 11 deep, Billy. He went 11 deep. And quality minutes. No, there's not one person who had single-digit minutes on that bench. This is why I have a lot of confidence. And you see what the second unit does. Scored 62 points. The second unit, if you get 50 plus from those guys, amazing. That's amazing. You get 50 plus from your bench on a consistent basis, you're going to be a tough team to beat. You're going to be a tough team to beat because here's what happens. Do you, as an opposing team, how long do you go with your second unit? Because if we're blowing you out, we're running up and down the floor, and you got to bring your starters back. Ooh. Well, guess what? That's less rest for them. More rest for our starters. And fatigue's going to set in. I know they're top world-class athletes, okay? But they need rest too. And you're on a schedule, okay? And your bodies are used to. And that's the crazy part about our human body. Like it's an amazing machine. So it knows, like, okay, after X amount of time, I'm gonna start to come down a little bit because I know here's where I get my rest. If you remember what Phil used to do with Michael, remember Phil would take Mike out just before the end of the first quarter. All right, you have the end of the first quarter, you have the break in between first and second quarter, and you give him like 4 or 5 minutes into the second quarter. So he would play the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of the quarter. And the same thing, he would do the same thing in the second half. Like we'll start the second half, he'd go sit down. He would sit down in the 3 minutes to go in the quarter. He'd have those 3 minutes, have the break between third and fourth quarter, and then come back with about 7 minutes to go in the game. And he was well rested. We saw Michael do Michael things. So if our second unit continues to put the pressure on opposing second units, that's going to be a big problem for teams. Because most teams don't go 10, 11 deep. They don't. A lot of teams go 7, 8, maybe 9. But you go 10, 11. And again, those guys play double-digit minutes. Not a good thing if your bench is shallow. Not a good thing. But anyway, listen, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our girl Beth Mishler-Elmore. We have some Bears to talk because the Bears are atop the NFC North, sole possession of first place. Who would have freaking thunk it? So keep it locked right here. Beth Mishler-Elmore on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot. and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
And it's a work in progress, and when you do it together in a divisional game, it's as exciting as it comes.
Here's Devin Duvernay. Looks for a block. Oh, big room! Duvernay, look at this! Across the 50, and a huge return for Devin Duvernay! The all-pro returner delivers in the clutch moment. 57-yard return.
Catches the ball all the way to the left side of the field. Nothing slows them down. They get walled. And the
Santos puts it up, and it is good! The comeback kid, Chicago Bears, do it again!
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. That was this Sunday. Where were you at? How crazy were you screaming at the TV when they scored, on the kickoff return, and on the kick? We had the viewing party, and it was awesome. It was awesome. The place went nuts. And, wow, high five all over. Black Diamond was in the house. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And, yeah. Listen, we're going to welcome our guest. She's a good friend of the program. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com. All right, you can find her on Twitter at BearDownBeth. Guys, just welcome back to ShawnSierraSports, Beth Mishler-Elmore. Good morning, Beth. How are you?
How's it going, Shawn?
Could be better. Could be worse.
Yeah.
I got a little frog in my throat, but the show must go on, and
You're
there's just a lot I had to talk about today that I didn't want to.
For sure.
I didn't want to miss out.
Crazy Bears right now.
Unreal, and we love it. Did you picture these guys 7-3 atop the NFC North at this stage of the game?
No, absolutely not. I thought they'd be better. And I just didn't think they would be atop the NFC North. I thought they might be, when all is said and done, battling for a playoff spot, which I think they still may be. with the remaining schedule being as difficult as it is. But no, I think few saw them sitting at 7-3 with solo ownership of the NFC North for I think the first time in Ryan Pohl's tenure. So that's pretty nice.
Since 2018.
Yep.
2018. That is insane. And one of the things that I said, and I brought this graphic up, and it's a little tough to read because it's small, but this is why you can't go off of what people here. It says Chicago Bears have one of the toughest schedules to start the 2025 season, with sources ranking it as the second most difficult in the NFL. Their opponents, blah, 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 blah. And the one thing I tell my people, I'm like, look, that's just bullshit. All right? Teams change every year. I know you go off last year's record, but every team in the NFL is different. There's never, ever been a time where the exact same 53 guys are the same. You got draft picks, you got free agents, you got people leaving. I'm like, so strength of schedule means nothing. All right. So when I look forward to the second half of the season, and everyone's talking about, well, the Steelers are lost, Eagles are lost, Green Bay. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, the Steelers, we just saw ownership. He might not play. And I'll tell you what, if he plays, I'm going after that wrist.
Yes.
I'm going after that left wrist big time.
Absolutely.
Your
I'm going
thoughts
after him all day. I'm grasping that man all day if he plays. You want to play? Good. Yeah. I'm with you there.
Yeah, don't come in here letting us know that you have a weakness, you have a soft spot, because I'm chopping down the ball. There's a whole bunch of different things, all within the scope of the game. Nothing cheap, nothing dirty. Okay, but if I know you have a weakness, I'm gonna go at it. How do you feel? Do you want him to play and the Bears to beat the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, or do you not care? You just want to get to 8-3?
Ultimately, I just want to get to 8-3, but I do want. In my heart of hearts, I would like to see him, and I want to see them take him down. He wants to play. He's always been arrogant, always been a thorn in the Bears' side, and that hasn't changed. I've not known a league without him for a very long time. None of us have. So I want to see him, and I think if Dennis Allen cannot put constant pressure on him, there's a problem, because he's old and he's never functioned. Anytime you get in Rodgers' face and give him a couple good hits, even back to the Julius Peppers days when he bloodied him, that gets in his head a little bit, messes him up, and he's not on his game as much. And so, like, I would love to see Aaron play. I would love to see constant pressure and harassment, and I would love to see a Bears win. I just hope it doesn't come down to the legs of our two respective kickers, because I am not as sold on Cairo Santos as everyone else is.
Cairo's had a rough one. Well, he missed one last week.
He's missed a few over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Been pretty big. And I know he's money under 49 yards. But in terms of distance, I went down a couple kicker rabbit holes because I'm like, how bad is he? He's not bad at all. He's totally fine for most situations. But let me ask you, if it comes down to 2020, let's say we're in week 18, it's Bears versus Lions, and there's a playoff spot on the line. Very realistic situation. Mm-hmm. It comes down to, like, Bears need a 57-yard field goal to win it. Do you trust Cairo Santos?
No, hell no. Not 57.
Yeah. That's my problem. And there's like 24 kickers in the league who have hit bigger, longer kicks than him field goal wise this year alone. And so it's just like, man, the Pittsburgh Steelers kicker is one of them. He's got a 60-yarder this year. So wow. If it comes down to it, I trust Caleb with the ball. I trust Dennis Allen and the defense with holding Aaron Rodgers, but I don't trust the kicker. That would be my biggest thing.
Yeah, and then that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
because of the way the NFL is so even, the parity throughout the league, and it usually so often can come down to a field goal, a deep field, a long field goal, and we had our guy just poached off the practice squad.
Yep.
For the Commanders, Moody.
Yep.
And it's interesting. Like, I sit there and I wonder why you couldn't keep him on the roster. Like, I understand because everyone talks about roster spots. There are guys who make the 53-man roster or the game day roster that don't play.
Yep.
There are guys that happens every week. Why can't he be 53? because now you protect him. And now Carlos Santos gets injured again because he was coming out. That's the reason we got Moody, because he was injured. And you prevent him from going, because now we're at a spot where we can get to the division. We can win the division. And it might come down to a 55-yarder, a 57-yarder. And we feel a lot more comfortable with someone like Moody than Santos, because we've all seen that his trajectory changes, okay, on the longer field goals to get more leg into it.
Yep.
But it also allows defenses to block it easier.
Yep. That's what happened in Green Bay last year.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's it. And I think, overall, I like Cairo. I think he's a great leader. I think he's a great player. I just don't think he has the range that the Bears are going to need. And I'm getting not like Cody Parkey vibes, but like he's missed enough kicks to where it's like, okay, if the game is on the line and it's a longer kick, ain't nobody going to feel comfortable or confident in Cairo, respectfully. And if they say they are, they're probably fibbing a little bit.
Lying.
Yeah.
They're lying. Talk to you about this run game. This run game has really come to life after the break, and the run fits are better. The tight end play in the running game has been out freaking standing.
Yeah.
Talking both of them. We're talking Cole Kmet, who's a lead blocker, or if he's in the end of the line taking guys down. We're talking Colson Loveland, who will be at the end of the line and take. Talk to me about how important that is. Talk to me about how that's going to help those guys become open when we start running play action.
Absolutely. Look, I think it's just now starting to gel in terms of both of those. Colston and Cole will probably start getting a few more targets. But in terms of like blocking, I don't think Cole Kmet has had a better year. Like overall, I know statistically he has, but he has been a jack of all trades, and he has been such an MVP for this offense. He was the lead blocker when Caleb scored that game-winning touchdown a couple weeks back. Mm-hmm. He just pretty much does whatever you want him to do. And they went ahead and drafted a tight end, number 10 overall. And instead of being a pouty little, what about it, he's like, good, let's do this. So I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing. They're blocking like crazy. And I do want to give a shout out to the, not just the tight ends, but the wide receivers have been blocking a lot and helping the run game. That Rome Odunze's dad dramatics aside, he had a hell of a couple games as a blocker. He's gotten a lot better. So shout out to Rome for like working on his game. DJ Moore's been doing better after Ben Johnson kind of put him on notice a little bit. And so I think the receivers have been a key too, in terms of Bears having the second best rushing attack in the NFL right now. That being said, I do wonder what would happen if an injury would strike, say, Kyle Monangai, or they don't have the kind of like depth, like Travis Homer. They don't have like they have a decent 1-2 punch, and I really like what they have. But like in terms of an injury, they're Swift and Monangai aren't big guys by any means. And so it's a long season, and Swift's already. We saw Monangai step in, but like Britton Brown maybe from the practice squad. I mean, he had some touches, but like I'm still. I wouldn't hate if they drafted another running back next year just to kind of, because Roschon was supposed to be that guy, and he's just not been that guy. That's the only real concern. I don't really have many concerns about the run game. I'm blown away by how Ben Johnson came out of a bye week and completely transformed the offense to an extent. I mean, Theo Benedict making that choice.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about him last year. I didn't know hardly anything about him other than what I read on the internet, and watching that man move people has been a joy. So I think they've got a decent group of guys together that seem to be now finally, how long has it been as Bears fans where we've had an offensive line that's both decent and is starting to play together for a decent amount of time and is starting to gel. These guys, like they had Braxton in there for a while, not bad depth. Now they've got an offensive line that I think I feel more confident in than I've felt in a very long time since I think Olin Kreutz was around.
I was going to say 2013, back with Cutler, Forte, Marshall, Jeffrey, and that whole crew. And talk about moving people. What the hell has gotten into Darnell Wright? Was it just the fact that they drafted Isaac Trapillo and then he really couldn't play the left side? Like, well, we got a high draft pick who's got to play the right side. Yep. What is it? What do you think has gotten into Darnell Wright? Because he's taking people literally into the first row, and I love it.
I don't know what's gotten into him. I don't know if he's changed anything as an off-season program or whatnot. He has had some issues with penalties, but that's I think he's headed towards his first at least Pro Bowl campaign, maybe even All Pro if he continues to be just utterly dominant. I'm not sure what he's doing differently other than Ben Johnson's getting these guys on the move more and like using their athleticism a lot more than what has been done previously. And I think that's helping him. I think he's a pretty athletic dude. And like him and Dahlman, when they get rolling, man, it's fun to watch. Jonah Jackson too. He's gotten a lot better. He started off the season where it was just kind of like, I'm not sure that was a great choice. He's starting to gel in the run game as well. There's still some issues in pass pro for sure, but we're talking about the run game, and there's not a lot wrong with that right now. Those holes are opening up quick. I would have 5 yards of carry sometimes with what those guys are opening up, especially on the left side. Benedet's really done a good job in the run game. You got to give it to him.
He's a road grader, and that's an amazing thing, and I love it. I love how that's becoming their attitude. That's becoming their identity. They're going to punch you in the mouth, all right, and you got to deal with it. And you better bring people up to the line to stop it, because if you don't, I don't know what they did, and you mentioned it. I don't know what they did at the break, but their run fits coming out of the break are just unbelievable. I mean, just getting up to the second line, comboing. We used to call it chip tray in college. You chip the second guy, chips him to get to the first guy, get him, and as a tray, you catch the backer. So chip tray, my offensive line coach called it, but they're teaming to the next level, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. And Manung guy is a guy that I'm fired up about. Talk to me about him, because when people at the beginning of the year, people were worried about the running back room, and I said, listen, I said I watched this. Well, I didn't know who he was. I said, let me throw the tape on. Let me check out the film. And I watched him, and I'm like, wait a minute. This dude runs hard. He doesn't fumble. He's got a little burst. Only thing he doesn't have, he's got great balance. Only thing he doesn't have is breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll be good. And I compared him. I said, he's literally Ashton Genty without speed.
Yes, he is.
What he is. Literally what he is.
I think if you, a couple weeks ago, their numbers were started like it was pretty crazy how Mananga has done like almost as much in half the opportunity or a fourth of the opportunity that Genty's had. I think I'm most impressed. Like I had no idea about him either, and I didn't watch a lot of film on him. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I've kind of been blown away. His legs never stop moving. He never stops. I'm just so impressed. Like he's like 5'8". And first contact is no thing to him. He just bounces right off and keeps going. Yeah. I love his fight. I love his fit. He's a perfect style running back for Chicago. I would like to see a little bit more balance. I think like maybe a 60-40, 65-35 balance between Swift and Kyle, because I think giving him a few more carries wouldn't hurt. I'd like to see him a little more, especially since his breakout game. I mean, he won the Spectre that year, or that game. He got the angry runs Spectre. Yeah. And so listen, in Chicago for the Bears, that's what you want. You want an angry runner. He's small, but like you said, contact balance. He's got so many broken like I got to look up his broken tackle stats on PFF too, because he's just like a video game at this point.
Yeah, he is.
And 7th rounder. What a steal.
Yeah, it's amazing. And don't get me wrong, there are other running backs I would have liked, but I'm happy that we have him.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This guy. So in the game on Sunday, they had DeAndre Swift had 21 carries, which I love. All right. Kamananga had 12. I would have liked them to get to 15, but that's okay. Yeah. My thought is give me 15 each. But that's 33 carries. Give me that's 33 carries. 33 carries for the run game. I'm with that all day, twice on Sunday. I love it. And I think that's the best way, for us to have the best chance to win. Let's talk about the man and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had a very pedestrian day, 16-32, 193, no tutties. Are you happy with the growth that you're seeing with him? Or give me your thought to this point after 10 games with Caleb.
Yeah, look, I think some folks are expecting him to, be like the best quarterback in the league right away because he was number 1 overall and he won the Heisman and he came with so much hype. And, there's been a lot of drama surrounding him. He's got 13 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and he's not turning the ball over. I like that a lot. Like he's learning, but while he's learning to play, they're winning games. And I think that also helps. And I think too, there's times now where Ben Johnson is kind of calling the game to make Caleb more of, I know it's a term a lot of folks don't like, but a game manager. I think that's okay at this point too. And I think that if you manage a game and you don't turn the ball over and you play smart ball, you will win. And I'm totally fine with that. And I think that's kind of going on a little bit while we see a lot of limitations in his game right now. His accuracy needs to be better. There's no question. I don't think anybody would be, happy with what he's been like. Just last game, it was 50% accuracy. That's hardly ever going to get it done in the NFL. That said, like he's turning into a young leader in front of our eyes, and he leads the NFL in comeback wins this year. I'll take that. I will take it. He doesn't give up, and there's not a lot of quit in him, and we haven't seen clutch fourth quarter play like this in a while. I'm all about going through some bumps and dealing with the whole peaks and valleys part of it, as long as at the end of the day we've got him gelling with Ben Johnson like we seem to. They seem to genuinely. There's a couple of reports out there like, oh, Ben's getting frustrated with Caleb, this and that. Maybe, but you can't tell it on the field. And Ben I think he's a heck of a play caller. He's doing what other coaches haven't in the past, which is calling games to his quarterback strengths. And I think also Caleb is really upped. Like, I mean, his sack, he led the league in sacks last year with 68. He's been sacked, 16 times this year? That's an incredible improvement. So hats off to him. Those are two areas where, like, in terms of getting better with taking sacks and turning the ball over, those are two areas he's quite frankly excelled at. And when you add the comeback wins to it, I'm just fine with what Caleb's done this year. I'm excited about next year most of all, because I think having a full year in Ben's offense with another off season and maybe even more offense tailored even more to Caleb and Ben Johnson's strengths and peccadillos would be exciting. But what we're seeing now, man, he's finally got a run game, and that's opened up his play action. He's also had a lot of dudes drop balls. So I'd like to see that cleaned up as well. But I think overall, I am pleased with Caleb. And, I don't think I'd trade him for many quarterbacks in his QB class, including Jaden Daniels right now.
Yeah, and you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. All right, and people expected him to come out and be the best quarterback ever. Okay. I personally still don't think he's generational.
Yeah.
You don't have to be generational.
No.
You don't have to be generational to win a Super Bowl. You don't have to be generational to win multiple Super Bowls. Okay. And I think the thing that I love the most is the development we see before our eyes. All right. One of the biggest questions and knocks on him was his ability to play in structure. Well, look at the pass of Cole Kmet. I mean, Loveland and Cincinnati, that was from the pocket. That was a rifle where, we all saw it, and then he bounced off and ran away from people. We saw the throw to Roma Dunze at 3rd and 24. He hits him for 3rd and 25. He hits him for 24, makes it a manageable 3rd and 1. All right, that's from the pocket. So his ability, his growth before our eyes is what excites me, because last year, most likely, and even in college, he would have spun out the back of the end zone, the back of the pocket, and ran and started making things happen. He's not doing that as much. Okay, and that's going to be the scary part. When he can stand there and deliver the ball from there.
Yep.
Wow. And I'm here. I'm all for it. And I can't wait until I said about 10 games. I said we'll see about after 10 games. So I wouldn't be surprised now if Caleb comes out and has a good game. Caleb comes out and have a good game. They got a great defense, playing against a great defense in Pittsburgh. They got two good corners, Joey Porter Jr., who was actually our draft pick in the Chase Claypool trade. And they got Jalen Ramsey.
Chase Claypool, shout out.
Your thoughts on this week going up against a tough Pittsburgh defense with those two corners?
Honestly, look, I'm more concerned about Pittsburgh's pass rush. They are third in sacks right now. And the Steelers are actually, they've got good corners, but they're giving up a lot of yards. They are giving up more yards in the secondary. They're giving up, I think, just under 262 yards a game, which is most in the NFL. So I think Caleb's going to have his opportunities. I think he could have his, I think my prediction this week is going to be a 3-touchdown, 300-yard game. I think he's going to have his first 300-yard game of the year. But I think it's going to be key for the offensive line to play well and for the run game to go well. Steelers are decent against the run. I think they're giving up a little over 104, 105 yards a game, but they've got TJ Watt. They've got Alex Highsmith, rather. Decent pass rush. I think even their third pass rusher is a beast. I forget his name offhand, but they're going to be coming for Caleb. It's nothing like what Brian Flores has to offer. And I think that's partly why Caleb was a little like anytime he's going against or any quarterback's going against Brian Flores, he's going to get blitzed a lot. He's going to get thrown off his game a little bit. Flores is just one of the better defensive coordinators in football. I don't know that it's going to be as much of a challenge in Pittsburgh, but I am worried about the line. I think that there will be opportunities in the secondary. I think absolutely. And I think Rome especially could have a really good game, as well as the tight ends, now that they're getting kind of targeted a little more.
And that's a great segue. The tight ends, we mentioned them in the run game and how they were just amazing in line blocking, leading the way out of the backfield. But now they're starting to be a bigger impact in the passing game. All right, this is built off the run. All right, you pound it up in there enough times. These linebackers have to come down. Talk to me about Colson Loveland and Cole Kmet and as possible weapons on Sunday, because you start running that ball like we talked about. Linebackers got to come down. And all of a sudden, it sucks. It's fun to see it, to watch the replay. You see the linebacker come down, and the tight end goes right by him, and he gets hit right by. They hit the tight end right behind him, and there's a big gain.
And I think in terms of creating mismatches too, Colson Loveland is going to be, I mean, they've got loads of opportunities, especially if they're going to have linebackers trying to cover him in the middle of the field. That's just not going to happen. We saw what safeties, I'm telling you, Colson Loveland's going to be a beast in this league, because I don't think there are many linebackers or safeties who could team up to cover him at all. He's just such a unique combination of, like, he's almost like a hybrid tight end wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I think with what this is also nice too, because they've kind of been trying to make Cole Kmet that kind of guy. And he's been more of like an inline blocker, kind of, you could go in the middle of the field, like play action, really great red zone threat, but he's not going to line up in the slot. Cole Kmet isn't. He's not going to line up outside. Colson Loveland can do that for you. You can make him trips up top as a third wide receiver if you want. I don't think the Steelers have that many people who can cover either Kmet or Loveland in the middle of the field. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what Ben Johnson dials up, because like you said, the run game's going now he can open up the play action game quite a bit. And with two tight ends that are just absolutely, they're big, they're athletic beasts, and they're going to drag dudes down the field if that's what they're going to have if they're going to have like Minka Fitzpatrick types trying to cover them. It's just not going to happen.
Guys, we're joined by Beth Mishler-Elmore, who covers the Bears for Heavy.com. We're talking Bears football here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me about this wide receiving core before we head over to the defense. We thank goodness we haven't heard from Rome's dad. I don't know if someone took his phone away or what, but we haven't heard from him, which is good.
Yeah.
But there was a case of the dropsies last week. Do you think it was just a one-off, a crazy day, or do you see a pattern happening there?
Drops happen, as they say. I've been kind of disappointed with the ratio of targets to Olamide Zaccheaus versus Luther Burden. That is just now starting to change.
Yep.
Thank goodness. That's the one thing I've been kind of disappointed with this wide receiver core, is that they pretty much Zaccheaus had chemistry with Caleb throughout training camp and in preseason, and then when the regular season hit, it kind of didn't go away completely, but it kind of subsided quite a bit. And I think DJ Moore has been targeted less, and Luther Burden's been targeted a little bit less as a result. I would like to see an uptick in targets for both DJ Moore and Luther Burden over the second half of the season. I think Rome's been very good, especially in the red zone. I would like to see Rome make more clutch plays. I think it was you who put on social media a couple weeks ago that Rome does not have that dog in him. Was that you?
There was.
What do you mean by that? Because I kind of agree, but you didn't really elaborate, and I want to know if you're thinking the same thing. Like do you just think he's a quitter, or what do you mean?
No,
Okay,
not a quitter.
okay.
Not
I
a
wasn't
quitter.
sure.
No. He's not a quitter. And when you have athletes, you see guys who have that killer mentality.
Got it.
When the
Okay.
ball goes up, I don't give a damn. It's mine. It's not 50-50. It's 95-5 me, and that whole thing, like a Steve Smith. Like I can give you examples of people who are dogs, and you'd be like, okay, I get it.
Yep.
And they don't throw him that because that was asked about to Ben Johnson, and Ben's like
50 balls.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like 50-50. I want him more. I'm like, but you got a 6'3" receiver with a 39-inch vert who did that well in college, who led the NCAA in receiving his last year at Washington. Here's a crazy idea. Why not try it? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So let's go over to the defense. Jaquan Brisk. So the window is open for Jalen Johnson. Are you excited for him to come back? Do you think he'll be back? He'll be able to fit that 21-day window to get him back, and then because you can't just come back and all of a sudden play at the Pro Bowl level without having played already. So do you think he's going to come back? If so, if he comes back, how well do you think he'll play?
That's tricky. I think I think ideally they would like to see him back for the Friday game against Philly, right? Because how are you going to deal with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? If respect to Tyreek Stevenson, he's had some good games this year, but he's also gotten burned a couple times, and he doesn't have the size to take on AJ Brown for an entire game. He just doesn't. That's the reality. Jalen Johnson, I think if he can go, I think maybe starting him out a little bit slower is the best thing. But I don't think they're going to get him out there based on what happened with Kyler Gordon and the setback they had earlier this year. I don't think they're going to put him out there unless he's ready to go 100%. So I don't think when we do see him, we're going to see a dip in play other than maybe like a little rust that you would expect. But he's one of the top corners in the league for a reason. And generally the best of the best don't need too much time to get acclimated and to get back to the level that they're used to playing at when they're elite players. And Jalen is an elite player. He's an elite cover corner. I can't wait, truthfully, until he's back, Kyler's back, TJ Edwards is back, and then they have the problem of what do we do with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson now that Kyler Gordon's back, and they could just go nuts on corner blitzes and disguises, and it's just going to be so exciting. But we haven't had that all year, and I'm just getting ahead of myself. But like I do think seeing Jalen Johnson probably next Friday is the most realistic scenario, just because the Eagles' game is going to be huge and AJ Brown is looming.
That is a huge game. And I think victory there because it's at Philly. It's in Philly. You go on and you beat that team in their house.
That's Johnson's statement win right there. If that happens, that's the first statement win of his coaching career. And yes. I don't think that the schedule is definitely difficult to the remainder of the season. But like you were saying, I don't think it's as difficult for the Bears. Like I think the Bears are going to want to prove themselves. They're going to want to show that they're not just lucking out every other week, just wait until the last minute they're going to play some of these teams like the Eagles, the 49ers, and yes, the Packers. They're going to play them pretty damn tough. I think. I think Ben Johnson I love that he just doesn't show emotion other than he just looks friggin' intense the whole time. And they ask him about the playoffs and he's like, I don't want to talk about the playoffs right now. That's a coach who's focused on the now and what he needs to be focused on. That's some dialed in stuff right there. I'm into that. And
Beth,
so
I said earlier this year, I'm saying, listen, this is Bill Belichick. This is a young Bill Belichick.
Whoa, wow.
He's on people. He came in and he's holding people accountable, putting people on Front Street. He's demanding of Caleb. He's demanding of everybody. Kick the offense off the field. Remember in training camp because they weren't getting it right. That type of stuff. And he's a little more personable than Belichick. But that mentality, he's always like, okay, well, what can we do better? What can we do better? And he'll always start off complimenting his players. They'll sneak in what they need to work on,
Yeah.
But then finish it with a compliment.
It works. That's great leadership right there.
Yeah.
That just puts it in a nice little, like he did this right and this needs to be better, but in the end we're 7-3. That's what you need. That's what you want. And yeah, I think that the Bears will probably beat either the Steelers and or the Eagles or both. And I think they might lose to the Packers or Browns or stumble a little bit. But I do see them beating the Steelers, and I think they have a chance to beat the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have been they've got a great defense, obviously, great defensive line, and the addition of Jalen Phillips has been really good for them. But I think they're not scoring a lot of points. Something's off. And there's lots of drama there. There's lots of finger pointing. AJ Brown's pointing fingers. Jalen Hurts. People are getting critical of Jalen Hurts, it's just getting nuts over there. So I think with all those dramatics, and Nick Sirianni sometimes does a boneheaded thing or 10 as well. I don't think he's as smart as Ben Johnson, even though he just won a Super Bowl. I think he's a great coach, but I don't think he's as cerebral, and I don't think he's trying to play chess. I think he's sometimes playing checkers over there. So I think Bears got a decent chance of coming out with a dub in Philly. And if they do, look out.
Yeah, that would be, again, statement win, defending Super Bowl champions in their house late in the season, not week 1 where they got a little super championship hangover. We're talking, we're 10 games in. All right, we're 10, 12 games in. You're rolling. Both teams are rolling. And that would be a huge, huge statement for them if they're able to do that. Talk to me a little bit about this linebacking core. Noah Sewell, I like him. He misses a few tackles. Horrible in coverage. What do you think they do for that? Because I have an idea. I was looking at the film and at the film the other day, and I'm like, I think I have an idea. What would you do to kind of mitigate when everyone comes back? Because once you have back, now we have a problem that we haven't had here in Chicago in years. We got too many players who are contributing, and there's only 11 spots on the field.
Right. I mean, it just depends on how much Sewell struggles, right? In coverage, Tremaine Edmonds is better in coverage. Let's be real. Yeah. He's second in the league in interceptions right now. Excuse me. Looking for my water. Can't find it. There it is. I'm not sure that there is much they can do in terms of depth, right? I haven't seen much from Ruben Hippolyte. He's been healthy scratch. So that's a little concerning for a 4th round pick, because I thought that we would be able to rely on him for depth. We haven't been able to do that. So they don't really have a lot of depth. What's his name? Amen. He's got a very long last name. Thank you. Something. Yes. Yeah. He's not done much either. So in terms of what they do, I'm baffled. I have no idea other than move Tremaine Edmonds over.
Here's what you do. All right. You bring Jaquan Brisker down there.
Hey.
Right? He's in coverage. He's much better in coverage.
He
likes to box anyway. And then now you put C.J. Gardner-Johnson at the strong safety position, which he plays anyway. So now you got a guy who can cover, especially in passing downs. So you got a tight end, you got a running back, all right? Jaquan Brisker is a guy who can do that and who can and now you don't, you're not losing anything. There's no clear-cut advantage by the offense when you have Jaquan Brisker in coverage.
Man, I love that. They need to do that. That's what is so great about having so many versatile dudes in the secondary, because CJ Gardner-Johnson could then just slide into strong. Yeah, hey. Wow. Yep. And how about Kevin Byard too, by the way? Do you want them to re-sign him?
Oh yeah, I do. I think he's got one really good year left here.
Yeah.
Really good year left. I think he's got a good year after that. And after the 2 years, I think he'll be done. Good year. Yeah. He's got a really good year next year. He's got a good year in 27. But after that,
I'd like to see him lock him up this offseason.
He's a freaking leader, man. He is a leader of leaders, of men, and I love it.
I think he's another reason that they are able to do a lot of what they've done on defense this year. His leadership.
Big time. Beth, great stuff. I appreciate it. Do me a big favor, though, before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, so you can find me at heavy.com or our Heavy on Bears page. It's on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, check us out. We got all kinds of stuff on there.
Great stuff. glad we could finally connect. Great talking to you, Beth. We'll talk soon.
Always good talking to you, Shawn. Bear down.
Bye now. Guys, that's Beth Mishler-Elmore, covers the Bears for Heavy.com. And King Booker World, I agree with you, sir. I concur. Byard is a Pro Bowler. I concur. And you're a damn fool. Amen. Oogie boogie. You're a damn fool, boy. Well, listen, great stuff with Beth. And I also want to let you guys know, hey, listen, guys, go on our website. All right, ShawnSierraSports. I'm sorry. ShawnSierraSports, what was I thinking? SportsZoneChicago.com. All right, get your Bears Victory Monday t-shirts. All right, and definitely get your FGB t-shirts, because I'll tell you what, the Fridays before we play Green Bay, I'm wearing that shirt, and I may have my guy make one that says Bears Victory Monday FGB. That's how crazy I am. Bears Victory Monday FGB at the bottom. That's how crazy. Don't even try. Don't mess with me. I just might do that. But go on SportsZoneChicago.com. Check out all the swag we have. We got a whole bunch of good stuff. FGB, the Bears Victory Monday. We have the Coaching Matters shirts. We have the Cigar Fanatic shirts as well. If you're on it, there's a QR code. Actually, let me get this down. There's a QR code for it. I'll take you right to SportsZoneChicago.com, or just go to SportsZoneChicago.com. All right, Black Friday's coming up. All right, Cyber Monday. So there's a lot. Make sure you get your shirts. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay. I love the support you give me. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to put a post about, I did already, but I'm going to put another post about getting your shirts. If you guys could just reshare it. If you guys could just reshare it or repost it, that would be great. Because then it'll get out to your people. All right. You guys are my people, which is why I tell you to follow me on Facebook. Okay. Facebook, Instagram, it'll be on Facebook, it'll be on Instagram. But do me a favor, repost it, get it out to your people. Okay. And help me bring awareness to Sports Zone Chicago swag. All right, because I think it'd be dope to see a whole bunch of people with FGB shirts. All right, in the stands. I mean, probably not. You won't see them in the stands now because it's going to be cold. But what about next year when if we play them early on in the year? Someone has an FGB shirt. You know what I mean? So do me a favor when I make a post on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, reshare it. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. And, it's in Shorty. The game is in Philly. All right. Mr. Charles Johnson, the Bears are finishing 5-2. I'm not going back and forth about it. I ain't mad at you, Papa. I ain't mad at you. You give me 5-2, I'm straight. 5-2, I'm straight. Yeah. 11-5. No, 7-12. Can't even add up. 7-3. It's 10. 12-5. 17. Jay Grizz checking in. He checked in earlier. Jay Grizz, you still with us? You going to the game? You gonna go to the game out there, Papa? Again, so I appreciate it. If you guys would be so kind as to reshare my post or retweet it. If you see it on Twitter, all right, retweet it. Please do that for me. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. So I'm gonna, I put them on all social media platforms. So, yeah, that would be sick. 12-5 would be sick. That'd be sick. But listen, I'm gonna cut it short. All right, you can tell my voice is jacked up. I want to get Beth on. We've been trying to get connected, but she was busy. I was busy, and so we were able to finally get her on the show. It was good talking to her. But I'm gonna go have some more tea before I got to go pick up the warden, and yeah, listen, I will see you guys Friday. You guys have a phenomenal day. I will continue to take care of myself and get this frog out of my throat. And I will see you on Friday. Guys, have a phenomenal day. All right, it's a little cool today. Temperatures are going to drop. What does it say right here? It says 42. Whew. High of 42 today. High of 52 tomorrow. Actually going to drop overnight, but then the weekend's going to be nice. It's going to be the 50s for the Bears game on Sunday. Almost 60. That's nice. That's nice. All right, well, listen, guys. Guys, you have a phenomenal day. I appreciate the love and support that you guys give me. All right, every freaking show. So from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, you have a phenomenal day. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I am out.
Come on, race the race.